John Calipari was at his most John Calipari isms yesterday at SEC Media Day. He had a lot to say, as always. We know he's a character, and we know he's one of the more entertaining interviews in all of sports. Well, he was talking specifically on his front court, specifically on Trevon Brazil, and he had a couple things to say, starting with this quote: "In today's day and age, you have to have a post presence or your team is a fraud." He went on in this quote to elaborate that you have to have a guy you can throw the ball to with his 2 feet in the paint, back to the basket. And they're still trying to figure out who that is on this team. But make no mistake, you have to have it. Otherwise, your team is a fraud. Later on SEC Media Day, Cal was at the podium with Trevon Brazil and also DJ Wagner, and was asked again about the front court and these guys next to him. Cal pointed to Trevon Brazil and said this right in front of Trevon, quote, "This guy should be a double-double with 4 to 5 blocks every game. If I'm not getting that from him, he's not giving us what he can give us." Really putting Brazil on the spot under the bright lights as he's sitting at the podium with his head coach. Pretty clearly, my read on this is Cal's not loving what he's getting from his front court right now. Said your team's a fraud if you don't got a guy, and I need this from Trevon. How do you feel about Cal's strategy here to go after his front court in media day?
Well, first of all, this is my Trevon Brazil impression sitting next to Coach Cal as he's saying this. I'm like, damn, man. Double, double, 4 or 5 blocks a game by Anthony Davis. That's crazy. A double, double of 4 or 5 blocks. That's legit. If Trevon Brazil does that, he'll be in the green room of the NBA draft. Like that's a pretty high bar to set.
I think that's what Cal's trying to say, Cart.
Is he on his Mark Pope right now? Is this his attempt to Mark Pope?
No, I think Cal's trying to make a point, which honestly I think I somewhat agree with. Trevon Brazil's capable of being an NBA player.
I
And
mean,
Trevon,
he had the makings and looking like one before I think he was a little bit slow getting back from his injury, but if he's like fully healthy, he's capable. I don't know about double double 4 or 5 blocks, but he's capable of being like an all SEC player.
pre-injury at Arkansas, he averaged 12 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block in 27 minutes a game. Then he got hurt. Since then, last year was pretty terrible by Brazil standards, 6 points and 5 rebounds a game.
He picked it up towards the end of the year though,
He did get
which
better at the end
led
of
to
the year.
Arkansas being good.
He did get better at the end of the year. But I don't know. Look, I think this has been my concern pretty much all offseason whenever Arkansas comes out. And they're not the only team I have this concern with. Louisville's another one, right? Teams that I love the entire roster. I just don't love what's in the front court. I don't like straight up the options that Calipari is entering this season with at the 5 spot. I'm not a huge Malik Ewan fan. I am not a Nick Pringle fan. Brazil is supposed to play the 4. I think all your best players on this roster are guards. You might end up moonlighting Brazil a little bit at the 5. Now, that's not meant to disrespect Ewan and Pringle like crazy because both those guys have been productive. In fact, both those guys are closer to averaging a double double than Trevon Brazil is at the high major level. But it doesn't exactly have the shine that I think some other premier programs have in terms of what they added in the portal. I think these guys are all role players, and Brazil included. He's a really poppy, fun role player. But I think this is Cal kind of coming to terms in real time with the fact that, hey, my front court's probably not where I wish it was. And if there is one guy in this front court that could exceed expectations, I think it has to be Brazil, even off of the injuries.
Yeah, and I think that, I love this Arkansas team is definitely not the front court that entices me about them. It's the guard play. I think that's everyone and how the team and wing play with guys like Carter Knox and Billy Richmond as well. And I'm more of a Malik Ewan guy than you. Not good to hear this, I guess, basically saying like I need Brazil to be this because I'm not, in my head, flip side correlation, I'm not getting it from the other guy. So I don't know. I haven't heard you comment though. Do you believe that you need a dominant post player to win a national championship?
I think you got to have a guy. Like I'll just dumb it down. And I'm sorry, this is not the best analytical analysis you've ever heard. You need a guy. You need a front court guy that's a guy. And to me, Brazil has been that at points in his career. And then the next game he disappears and gives you nothing. Ewan and Pringle do not meet my qualification of a guy. Those guys are out there on the court on either losing teams in Ewan's case or Pringle got outplayed by other guys. So I I don't know. I feel like there was a roster building miss from Cal, and it part of it is just how good the guards are. I mean, Acuff, Thomas, Wagner, Knox are incredible. You don't have a fifth guy alongside them that I think fits the roster. Brazil's probably too small and not durable enough, and the centers aren't national title caliber players, in my opinion. But again, I think Trotter had a response to this or a quote that was basically like respectfully to the legend John Calipari. Duke just proved you can be an absolutely elite team without ever throwing the ball in the post. Right? They went to the championship with man just dunking, blocking. That's it. Or to the Final Four with that. Now I would flip this and say back to my line of thinking, regardless of what Cal is saying about you have to throw it into the post. He's talking about do you have a guy? They had Kaman Maluak.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you don't throw the ball to him. That was one of the best centers in the country. He was national title caliber, you know?
Yeah. And look, I hear the sentiment also like Kansas won a national title with David McCormack as their center.
Weird year.
Just saying.
It was a weird year. That was
Just
the year we called it the year of the big, and Armando Bacot and Hunter Dickinson were everywhere we looked.
what a time.
It's a weird year.
Weird year.
Dion, you okay? You look a little sweaty.
So every August, September, my air conditioning breaks, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Dude, that's tough. Out in California too. Like, I mean, what is it, like 80 degrees still there today?
Today's gonna be like 85, 90, but like peak summer, it gets like 110. My AC just doesn't ever hold up.
I mean, it sounds like it's a bummer that you can't take advantage of Duncan Mechanical Solutions because Duncan Mechanical Solutions is an HVAC company based in Angola, servicing the tri-state area, bringing commercial quality to the residential world with excellent customer service. You heard us talk about Duncan Mechanical last summer. If you need heating or air conditioning, kitchen or bath remodeling, or all of the above, Duncan Mechanical is the place to go in the Midwest. Go to duncanmechanicalsolutions.com to take advantage and make sure you don't wind up like Dion.